I hope everybody can hear the game now, because that was the big pain point. Unfortunately, this game has the what's it called? The issue of if I tab out, the music will stop. And unfortunately, I didn't see a setting to not the disable's not the correct word, but the right idea. Because this is control settings, this is system settings. Yeah, I don't fully remember in battle settings. So, unfortunately, um unfortunately, we're just gonna kind of have to vibe and figure things out as we go along. If you guys are curious, I've played Persona 5X for a little bit of time now. And as I'm trying to eat food, I enjoy the game a lot. I really do. And it does have its problems, especially the global version, but it's nothing like embarrassing or world ending or anything like that. I was just thinking, realistically, can I get this season pass done? I think the answer is no, because even if I bought the pass and skipped 10 levels, that put me at 26. 10,000 experience would put me to 36. 37, 38, sorry, 37, 39, 40-ish. So if I was absolutely on it, I could hypothetically like really push my way along into like maybe the early 40s, but I don't think I have enough time to get all the daily stuff done. Yeah, because the last weekly reset for everything would have been, if I played a little bit last week, I would have finished the battle pass. Unfortunately, I did not. So so right now what I'm kind of doing is that I'm effectively just trying to figure out a game plan. I'm kind of in the midst of a bit of a catch-up mode with regards to the game, because I have not I basically skipped like 2 patches. So yeah, trust me, it can be a bit of a nightmare, but I know what a good chunk of these notifications mean. Welcome on in, Defender. Hope you're doing all right. But yeah, I know what a good chunk. I do know what a good chunk of these mean, so I'm not too stressed about it. But that had tended to be a larger issue with why a lot of people didn't really enjoy P5X, because I would say that honestly, the onboarding for this game the onboarding for this game is low-key kind of atrocious. And I won't defend that. The onboarding for this game is kind of atrocious. But once you get used to like its systems, it's just like most other gacha games to me. So I don't ever really worry all that much about it. Because a good portion of it is because I haven't played in a while is all. So as right now, I'm just trying to play a little bit of catch up, which means that I would naturally have a lot of notifications. Other than that, obviously I'm not starting from the very beginning when it comes to this game. Just so everybody's just aware. I'm mostly going to be not the maid Haru. Oh, I used to play Fire Emblem Heroes as well. It was bad. I was doing it all. Because but just to kind of bring you up to speed, I'm going to be playing just for this week primarily. One of the larger changes that I'm going to be making for the channel as a whole is that I'm going to be putting a bit more of an effort towards like catching up with my live service titles is the easiest way that I can kind of generally explain that. Sorry, I'm looking for whatever like new thing the game is like trying to tell me. I don't see new anywhere, which is driving me crazy. Okay, you know what? It disappeared. I'm fine. Sometimes visual bugs are visual bugging. So let's see. So I have a companion which I think I'm actually going to leave. I'm making my friend the leader, but I will miss out on the companion awards for this rotation, but I will kind of figure out who I'll end up joining by some point. There's a lot of different companions that are in the game. They're effectively kind of like guilds because you can do like guild battles / guild wars type of deal. So that's one of the other appeals that let people enjoy doing. But yeah, you can see that I've definitely neglected the game for a bit of time. But alas, it is what it is. I think I've got everything for the most part. Ooh, okay. And then 4. There we go. I'll eventually get to Tycoon. There's a lot to do, not the most amount of time. I would love to kind of go over everything that I'm doing, but at the same time, I am also trying my best to make sure that I get a good amount of stuff done. So those were the tasks there. The leave your units alone for 8 hours and they'll come back and give you free stuff. So first things first, I'm actually going to go after doing the weeklies, which shouldn't be too bad. So this is the team that I'm probably going to go in with. This is one of my strongest like DPS oriented team compositions. I use the main character, kind of have him set up like a support unit. Then I have I have Morgana. If you played Morgana in the original Persona 5, you know that he can kind of fulfill a healer role. In our lovely world of gacha gaming, he is a healer here. Then we have Makoto, who is catered towards being has a little bit of supportive capabilities, but she's catered to being more of a single target DPS. And then we have Vino, who's our saboteur, basically our debuffer character. She's also nuclear, which helps a lot. And then last but not least, we have Futaba, who her big shtick is that she can forcefully implement elemental weaknesses onto characters. So overall, this lineup is fairly strong. It cannot it can take care of most content in the game. I'm going to be kind of abusing auto battle for this boss weekly reset. And mind you, this boss fight's a little scary. And kind of briefly what I mean by that is I'll say Morgana, please heal. Vina, oh my goodness. This boss fight's a little scary because she hurts. But it's not so scary that it is impossible to do with keeping our team alive. One of the things that's also very kind of beneficial to have since we have Morgana available is that his ultimate allows for a revive. So even if Vino dies, one of the things that'll be kind of helpful a little bit later is that we'll be able to get the party like stable. And right now there's no audio because I'm trying to configure myself in such a way where I can see chat. I can make sure that stream is flowing okay. Like I can see OBS and everything, so we'll be good. So one thing that P5 you know, y'all probably wouldn't have cared if there was no audio play. Okay, so you guys can hear the audio now. Man, I was about to say, Defender, you let me just fly out here without like saying anything about audio? I'm also just turning voices off for now because I generally just don't want to compete with the voice acting of the game currently. But kind of as we're doing this weekly reset, you can kind of very generally see like my characters can do a very high amount of damage to kind of push this boss through a lot of its phases. Got it. So that would be a good idea, very generally, Defender, but unfortunately just for me, I did at least want audio running while I played the game, because I shouldn't be tabbing out super often. So, but the big thing that's we're kind of working with here is you can kind of very generally see how strong just the team is functioning right now. Okay, you can leave Vino alone. Goodness. But yeah, Morgana does his job well enough. I did not pull out any of the limited healers because of the way that Global specifically had decided to push these units. It wasn't gonna be in my best interest to pull for some of the units. There's one unit that I kind of regret's a strong word. I wouldn't say that I regret pulling. But if I had paid attention to like character names, I probably wouldn't have pulled the unit. And I would have been able to save some resources earlier. But yeah. This fight's pretty straightforward. Pretty much, Makoto is a unit that scales off of debuffs effectively. And mind you, I am trying to keep the methodology behind explaining the fights a little bit simpler, just for the sake of everything just generally making more sense in the long run. So I'm gonna be using auto battle again, using this for this boss fight, because like I said, generally speaking, it'll be on average easier just to do it that way rather than before. So you may have noticed that I opted to take control here. This boss has the whole idea of behind I'm like blanking really fast, but you hit the one person that looks different. And because we know which person looks different, it's the one that's been, you know, doing the emoting effectively. And so it's actually easy. You could tell very generally, just very quickly and easily which one is which. And the thing that's nice about it is that once you figure out the right one, it's a pretty easy finish. So now we can actually get to the real boss fight. So I'm gonna open up with Rakunda here. Defense debuffs have generally been pretty powerful just in Persona in general. So I'm opting for that, and all in all, we are kind of just in a very good position. I don't generally remember which part is which. So, like, this boss does have multiple phases, and I don't fully remember which phase is which. But what we can do for sure is that we can make him weak to nuclear. It would not make sense to push very hard there and burn resources to try to get things like not fully set up. So one of the things that this boss does, that this boss has heavy brainwashing capabilities. So right now what I'm going to be kind of doing is that because he went invulnerable here for a moment, it's in my best interest to just... Oh, because of Futaba, I could actually... That's good to know. I actually did not know that. Oh, and Morgana's dead. Alright, this boss fight suddenly became very scary. I hope you can see just on average how quickly, like, how strong, like, my character is, but in the same token, you could also understand how quickly a fight can go horrendously wrong. But you go also see how strong Vino is just with his, with her just abilities very generally. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go for like a more boss-centric rushdown style. Mostly because I made a mistake, and because that Morgana is currently dead. Hmm. All right. So far, though, we're kind of in a roughly okay spot. Vino might go down. But yeah, the big thing here is that he's still doing the hit the correct one mechanic. So as long as we beat, as long as we destroy the correct one, we will very generally be kind of sort of okay. All right, win barrier and pray. Because if Makoto wins, then if Makoto lives here, then I got this. So unfortunately here we do have to kind of push for the Wonder ult, where Wonder gives a gigantic shield to the party. Now, I also want you to guys note that I am going kind of full aggro here, because if I don't go full aggro, there might be a very solid chance that I actually do just kind of die here. See? Now, if I'm lucky, what can likely save this is, do I have a revive? But yeah. Was I smart enough? I forget if you could buy revives, actually. But yes, this is how you don't play the game. All right, so we'll go on ahead and just redo that. That's fine. There's a different character who generally, on average, I do prefer for this fight. That's Shun. I also have his 5-star weapon, so from a defensive standpoint, he's pretty strong. If only Wonder was faster than Makoto. I think it was the, okay, yeah, it was the middle one. So we'll use Imperial Purge. And then we'll use Smash. We don't really need a ton of healing right this second, but you guys can already very quickly tell that we actually almost went through the first phase fairly quickly. Oh, welcome on in, Luna. How are you doing? All right. And done. Okay. All right, so this is where I'm gonna start actually really putting in, some work. So we're gonna start off with Makoto's ultimate here. I'm doing okay. Really? I actually have the background music turned down pretty low on my end, but I'll always pay mind to what people tell me. So give me 1 sec. Because yeah, if you guys saw the bars, then you guys would be like, oh, he's right. But Let me know how that sounds. I turned it down maybe about, I would say like 4 or 5 decibels, which is a lot. Oh, I didn't mean to. You hate to see it. Okay. So what we'll go ahead and do is that we'll use data link to establish and apply that to Makoto. So that'll make the boss weak to nuclear, which should jumpstart the next phase. So because he's brainwashed, I'll go ahead and throw the shield up, because I can throw on the bigger shield. And then we'll just heal up the party with one of my heal all items. I don't want to take the risk of not being able to clear this a second time. Okay. We're going ahead and do the physical attack. Break the weakness. All right, Shun should be unbrainwashed by the time yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna be unbrainwashed by the end of this turn. So you guys can see that the boss does hurt. He's just not like crazy painful. I hope that actually landed on the boss. I wasn't fully looking. So, Vino's ult will do a lot of damage, or I can use Shun's ult just for party survivability. So I think I'm gonna go for the party survivability here. And thankfully, we can go back to kind of being on a little bit of this kind of debuffing spree. We don't need to heal the party just quite yet, so we can kind of veer on the edge. Okay, so we're not able to do data link yet, so that's not a huge deal. Yeah, but sometimes if I'm not paying attention to auto battle, these bosses be coming out of nowhere with what they be doing. Alright, so in Neverwinter, the party pretty well sustained. I'm going to use Icy Defense with Shun just to kind of... He boosts the party based off of effectively his max HP. So, you can use Blunt Edge. That gave random ailment over to the boss. Like I said, we want to make sure that we have a lot of debuffs that will keep the boss very actively weak. All right. Gonna use Data Link, scan Makoto, make everything weak to nuclear. Alright. We have Crash Out active, so what I'm gonna actually do is I'm gonna activate Crash Out before we do the ultimate, because that will do 88k. So it's just one of those things, for example, that we just did where I'm kind of focusing on just trying to get a lot of these weekly resets out of the way and just trying to play, just catch up in general. It's not a huge deal. So this is going to be a very interesting battle. So I am going to use Morgana. I'm going to use Riddle, and I do want to use Haru actually, but I don't think I have her 4-star. I don't think I have any 4-star weapon for her, not yet at least. If I do the event, I'm pretty sure that they'll give her it. Oh yeah, leveling and gearing people in this game do be taking some effort. So, because the way that our team composition is currently set up, I realize how much of a deal it's going to be for let's see. How much of a deal for Wonder is going to be the one who needs to potentially be the one who's maybe outputting some of the damage here. Because I can give my party all the protection in the world, but because of the nature of this upcoming battle, I do need to be kind of careful with regard to just like sustain and everything. So we'll just give it a go. Just see how it feels. Because the nice thing is that it looks like doing damage to everyone doing AoE damage seems to be the wave. So I'm gonna go ahead and use Phoebe as our navigator choice here, because Phoebe really succeeds in team compositions that focus very heavily on that focuses very heavily on like AoE damage and attacks. We'll kind of figure it out as we go. Obviously, my Haru is hardly invested. I might have gotten more mileage off of making Wonder prioritize like being a DPS. But the thing that's good about these weekly like guild bosses, even though I don't have a guild boss per se, yeah, even though we don't really have like a guild boss, I think we can kind of supplement the lack of damage on my end and kind of make things come together. All right. Good news is that Morgana does a lot of off-turn healing, which helps. He's not like a perfect healer, but I like using him because, I don't know. Sometimes the 5 stars and the 4 stars, at least with this game at release, was just very backwards. I hope that makes some sense. Okay. It was a Mona. All right, nice buff. Ooh, nice debuff. Okay, I see the vision. All right, Haru, nuke him. Well, she kind of nuked them. So obviously this is taking a lot of actions, which thankfully I kind of have a little bit of the leeway and kind of breathing room for all this. Hopefully, I was about to say Wonder Don't Die. All right, there we go. And Morgana's doing a very good job of just keeping the whole party just very generally sustained. Next turn we'll have somebody's ult go off. My guess is that should be Haru's. I'll say poor Mona, man. Also, if you hear me alternate kind of between Mona and Morgana, if you guys are new to Persona 5 or just Persona 5X in general in their world, Morgana is the character's actual name, but Mona is the their code name. As they're working as the Phantom Thieves, they don't go by their actual identity. So I do hope that makes some more sense. My team's doing a pretty good job, like just sustaining very generally. Because all things considered, Morgana seems to be at the very least just making sure that the party stays sustained, and that's all I really need. Welcome on Intel, by the way. So, if I'm being completely honest with you, still don't know how Haru works as a character. All I know is that she's got a gun. Or a grenade launcher, rather. But honestly, using someone who's incredibly underleveled for one of the highest difficulties of this is not awful. So, you may be wondering like what just happened here. Pretty much now that I've beaten the boss, the boss won't do anything else for its remainder turns. But this is just our team's opportunity to inflict as much damage as physically possible. So it's very good that we actually had our ultimate go off there, and our score is just heavily based on our damage. So honestly, 8 mil's not bad. I think that was 8 mil at least. Oops. So it's very possible that I may have actually, yeah. Even with Haru, who is incredibly undergeared by like my team standards. Even though we didn't rank very high, I should say. It doesn't really matter because we actually still did a very good job. So, for the second boss, we technically don't need to do this boss. I'll preface. But we have the units, and I want to show you guys that like my units are pretty decent, okay? So we'll just have all in on for right now. We'll bring Dominion. Do we want to bring in... Who else do we want to bring in? I think Dominion, Oh, I didn't even notice the misspelling at first. You're silly, Kel. Cuckoo Lane, maybe? I don't think I have a need for him. We'll bring Janosic and we'll bring Yamato no Orochi. Okay. So before we jump in, I do want to talk a little bit more about the scene composition that I have here and kind of what they do together. So, Wonder is still kind of fulfilling a bit more of a supportive role. The weapon that I do have him out on him and kind of encourages that with a bit of a defense boost and increases healing and shielding. But I believe it may have to be from Wonder himself. So I may actually switch him over to the Ex Machina, which will just improve the party's damage overall. So that means Shun Kano is going to be the only person on the team who's going to be able to provide a decent amount of sustain. Tropical Motoha is an AoE light DPS who's heavily based around their HP percentage. She's kind of not necessarily an HP scaling DPS, but is definitely cognizant of their HP values and overhealing and all that different stuff. And then Cord is a support that basically allows you in this game to use your ultimate quite frequently and even use your ultimate off turn. Which I don't know about you, but being able to double cast your ultimate is a very, very powerful thing that to be able to do in games like these. And then Futaba will allow me to implement the light weakness onto Cert. And that in on its own is going to be very, very powerful. All right. I figured this was probably going to be as good a time as always to kind of go in and just use auto battle, because all the rotations are going to be fairly simple, and there's nothing really to talk too much more about outside of the gimmicks of the individual characters. So I noted that Shun was going to be my team's primary sustain. So he's actually a tank. Just so you guys are aware. So he has the ability to shift aggro from the boss onto himself, but it's not a permanent shift. Okay, thank God. We're relying a little bit on enemy RNG there. But yeah, so doing that right there actually gives Cert a weakness to light in addition to his ice weakness. So now Motoha can actually charge for can also deal damage for weakness towards Cert. But as you guys can see, even though I'm not even piloting, you can see how many points like we are getting with everybody. So the good news is that this is the last turn that the enemies can deal damage, but I'm pretty sure we even got an even higher score than what we did earlier, so we should be okay. Yeah. Even though Jack Frost, the pumpkin, I already forgot what they're called. Much easier battle, but we still got a pretty decent scoring for just like very casually kind of playing. And by playing, I mean, obviously I used auto battle. So you guys can kind of very quickly see that I am doing my best to kind of quickly move through the ranks of the battle pass. I actually don't know what persona I need. You have Attack Master 4 though. Do I have these personas unlocked? Well, we're only going to be doing one run of this anywho. We are just going to be, we are aiming just to be very cognizant of the dailies at the moment, that's all. And they use this song a lot. I mean, the song's fire, so I don't mind that they use it a lot. There's sometimes where I very generally just kind of fixate on a song. I don't know if you guys do anything similarly. Oh, it's the instrumental version, so it's not super specific to this. Got it. Okay, Makoto, geez. So yeah, we're only spinning this this mission once, and I figured that we weren't going to get the Neveros right away. That would have been like fairly good luck, I would say. So yeah, we still have a lot of other weeklies to eventually kind of knock out as we continue to play. And the daily task is already done, so we can do that. And then eventually we'll get Haru all set up nice and neat. And obviously, or at least what I want to communicate is that I would love to go over kind of each individual system in this game and try to give it as much attention as I possibly could. But unfortunately, it's not going to be the easiest thing. So, next thing that's kind of on our radar is that we do have the social life aspects to the game that we do need to also do and be cognizant of the other event that I have going on featuring the Metro of Desire. Which, if you guys have played Star Rail, it is very similar to it's very similar to Divergent Universe or Simulated Universe and its many variations. For those of you guys who have no idea what I'm talking about, it's a roguelike game mode. So, very generally, I don't really care that much about the books and what's being read or explained. So, all right, help me out. Oh, what troubles me is the word uniform. Form means shape, but what is uni? Uni is one, I hope. Yep, one as in single. I always liked the school, missions. So knowledge is going to be probably the stat that I end up maxing out first. And a lot of that is just due to, just the way things end up playing out. So, we have action points, which we have 20 at maximum, where we can go about our day and do different activities. So, I'm gonna go ahead and actually work at the fried food store. just because it does sometimes the activity does have paid currency attached to it. So I do want to make sure that I'm getting as much of the currency as I can. It also improves my proficiency stat, so we can kind of work day jobs, we can work a whole bunch of different things, kind of just work on improving our stats one bit at a time. Currently, we are going to go on ahead and study at the library because it's raining, so we're going to actually have a larger multiplier toward studying in the library. You see that it went up by 33 points. It's now the evening, so we can actually get away with doing an activity. And we're going to actually spend time at LeBlanc. While the Crossroads of Fate missions are going on, you have a good well, as more of the vanilla P5 cast gets added in as banner units, more of the stuff can be like done. Wait, did I really rank down? Oh, I haven't finished this yet. Oh, I have 8 days too. It's fine. So we have a couple of different things that we could actually kind of approach and do. And as you guys can see, we only really had to use the three things. So we have 2 things that we ultimately need to do. We have the Crossroads. So I'll start here. So we have the Crossroads of Fate. I missed the Pyramid Arc. So eventually we will have to go through and complete the Pyramid Arc in its entirety. That isn't too bad. The thing that'll be the most helpful is and if you guys are just not familiar with gacha games and how they work, it'll generally just be a lot better to just focus on events that are currently ongoing rather than events that are no longer around, basically. So there's a couple of different things that we could do. We could work on the spaceport art. We can also work through the what's it called? I think I'm on difficulty 5, by the way. This seems like a stable enough team, but I am going to switch the main character over to using the support build just to help with sustain. So if I really wanted to make sure that I'm doing a lot of these challenges, you guys notice that we have to do like eventually like all these different difficulties. I still have to do all those difficulties on some of these other difficulties, which is totally fine. I'll get there. It's just something to kind of bear in mind. So starting off, we are just gonna go on ahead and do Terminal Station 1. We can keep Shunon. He has a very potent debuff. So the setup I'm going to actually be doing is something kind of more akin to this, where I have Norn Dominion for a party buff and Cert for party debuff or AoE debuff. We have Shun, Cord, and Tropical Motoha. And Futaba. like I was mentioning before, we actually do have a lot of leeway in this mode. I've done this mode a lot of times, and it is a very fast mode to kind of accomplish and do. We're on difficulty 5, so I don't imagine that this is going to be too offensively difficult to successfully clear. So, something that is very interesting about this mode is that one of the things that you can do / work on is lining up traits with similar I say similar, but with the same sorry, the same why is my brain blinking so badly? With the same type. So, looking ahead, you guys can see that I have fast mode on. What fast mode effectively does is basically make it so we don't like load into the room. And I think that that is a wonderful trade-off more often than not. Because then you could do something like that. And I think that that's very helpful. So, what we got was a charm set bonus there. And pretty much the only thing you really need to know for a charm set bonus is that basically if you notice if you had noticed before oh, I guess we're still just one-shotting things, I guess. Wait, what difficulty am I on? Because I feel like at difficulty 5, they still should at least be trying to, like, ruin my day. Okay. I am going to be going for a bit of a trading card build. And we're going to be going to probably this 4th boss down below. Unfortunately, it is a solo boss. Oh, and because it is a solo boss, we may end up running into weird situations where, obviously I'm playing an area of effect damage dealer. So it's very important to keep that in mind. And I want to make sure that we are picking up kind of, stuff like this as we go along. Because we do want to play to the strengths of our team and what they can do. So I hope that all kind of generally makes sense and kind of the idea of what to expect and what I'm doing. And the other reason to be running the Metro Desire is that we do get a lot. We do have the opportunity to get a lot of these coins. And you may be wondering, David, why are you doing this? Because money talks. Because before we even fight this boss, we can see what boss it is. So we can use a prayer Magatama, which the Magatamas are actually a reference to the Shin Megami Tensei line of games. Which, I was about to say, sir. Okay. So, for this fight specifically, between Oberon and Titania, they are designed in a way where I was very quickly reading, but the biggest thing that you guys need to just, take away from the matter at hand. Did I ever hit go live? Okay, I did. I was gonna be so sad on the YouTube end if I did not hit go live. Let's see. I think I'm gonna redial here. Maybe dispatch. I think hero set. I think this is actually on difficulty 1. There's no way. Okay, so looking at the path ahead, I think I'm gonna take the south path. So yeah, sometimes you'll see me discard rolls. And a lot of it is just because we're kind of at the point now where if we don't get like what we want, then we don't really care. So yeah, you guys can see that we just made them weak to light. Futaba, very generally speaking, makes this a lot more approachable. Sounds good to me. And now we're kind of at the point now where our other thing is going to start taking effect. How many of the companions are unique to P5X so far? I would say a decent amount so far are still unique to P5X. They've been doing a decent enough job balancing between the two. Ooh, these rerolls are looking not great. Okay, we definitely want that. Oh, you gotta be... I'm so upset. Math did not work out in my favor just then. So we're gonna activate one more slot because remember, we do have that one other effect going on for us right now. So looking at this right now, we don't have enough money to really buy anything. So I would be looking to enhance here. Okay. Got it. Okay, that's interesting. So is this a bit more of like a DPS race type of situation? I'm very curious about how this works. I was like, he still hasn't gotten a chance to move. I was about to say the team didn't. I was about to say he didn't even get to play the game. It's just kind of silly. But yeah, you guys can see that we are activating Arms of Strength here. The double casting ultimate is crazy. So yeah, we just made everybody even more weak to light. Twice. All right, so this is gonna trigger her ultimate again. 60K, that was disgusting. Okay, okay, game. He can play the game now. I don't know how many times I've ulted, by the way. I'm just saying, I don't know how many times I've ulted. Okay, come on. I don't know, I just think it's hilarious. Oh, they're weak to electric? That's crazy. Yeah. We almost knocked down all of its arms of protection. But that was just disgusting. I don't think I've ever seen the ultimate be used that many times. But yeah, as you guys can see, there are some of the paid currency that's attached to this, so. And we did clear a special operation. Okay. Oh, I did not mean for that to be so loud. So let's see. So we do have to kind of prepare to some extent when it comes to doing some of this. So we know it's strong to light. It's not strong to curse. But we do want to be careful kind of leading up to this fight. So we don't need Surge. We can probably take... If we take Janosik, then we are definitely relegating Wonder to kind of like a debuffing role. But I think taking Bishamoten and then playing around Makoto and doing the nuclear team might be a potentially strong option. So there's going to be two ways we can kind of specialize this run. So I do have to actually like pay attention and try. So we need to go for either single target damage or debuffs. So I think I'm going to prioritize some single target damage. And if we can get like some ultimate spamming also going, then we can, come on, damn. I probably should have just taken I should have taken the 2-piece. So we could actually play also for survivability as well. There's technically 3 different sets that we can kind of go for here. Because of the debuffing synergy that's offered by, all right, I'll gamble once. All right, gambling is awful. Don't gamble. Right now, we're still kind of in the bit of the early game shenanigans, so for the time being, we can afford little oopsies like that. Mind you, it is not a great position to be in. Just because we can afford it doesn't mean that it's a good thing. So now we're fighting, who that's Byakko with the 2 Lamias. Okay. So we definitely want to use Makoto's ult, but we definitely want to prioritize the, prioritize Byakko here. Bullseye Bomber. Okay. We got the down there. We will get the Lamia kind of to a lower point. All right. We'll use Imperial Purge this go around and try to see if I was trying to gamble to see if we can get the Byakko killed, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. So we'll use Futaba in this case, and I think using the this move, the first skill 1, because we're fighting a lot of different creatures at the same time. All right, so that's part of the reason why I had also taken the increased defense. Okay. So Vino, I am going to actually just go on ahead and use her ult to kind of just set up to try to one-tap this Lamia. Then Imperial Purge the other Lamia, and then we can kind of set up to do more of the same thing. it's only just her now, so even though let's see. So oh yeah, this is gonna be the setup. So we're gonna have fun here. We're gonna use Bullseye Bomber, which you can already see did like 24k. And then watch. That was 184k just off of. This is why your debuff stacking is important. So both of these are pretty good. I think I'm gonna take the Grim 6. I think ignoring defense is huge. We'll take the trading card box. And if we get trading cards, we get trading cards. I think we're gonna go fight, is that Shinryu? No, Koryu. My bad. I unfortunately don't know my mythology very well now, do I? We can still kind of fast pass through some of the different bosses, so I'm not too worried about. I'm definitely not worried about that. We're definitely not playing around lost items too much. So we will try our best to get at least 3 trading cards, but I'm not going to promise anything. So if you're wondering why I'm opting to just take the L and skip on getting rolls, it's gonna be better long term to have the money to get charms that I want. Because one thing that you guys may have been may notice that I could actually eventually I'll be able to sell charms, so I'm not particularly worried. All right, second boss. For right now, the charms are at least doing something. So this is gonna be a little scary. Well, so as far as just other gacha titles that are in store for this week, we are gonna be we're actually, the plan is probably not going to be streaming tomorrow. I had an opportunity to go to an event with some of my friends who play Magic the Gathering. So, I'm gonna take that opportunity to spend some time with them. I haven't played with them or seen them in quite some time. So, anywho, the plans for the other gacha titles for this week are gonna be mostly this and Honkai Star Rail. Oh. He's taking damage for hitting himself. That's funny. Forcing my main damage dealer to fall asleep is not as funny. Let's see. Shun has so much HP. Alright, we don't have to worry necessarily about data link established yet. But yeah. Let's go ahead and use Diving Ray here. Then we'll use Shun's follow-up. I mean, it's not a ton of damage, but since Makoto's asleep, I can't really do too much about that. So, it is technically correct to have aimed, it's very possible to have aimed for Oberon there and kind of called it good. I'm opting to play it safe and trying to keep Titania kind of on the lower end. Okay. We're doing a good enough job keeping both Oberon and Titania kind of similarly low. I'm kind of stalling until Makoto's slated to wake up again. Because Lullaby is annoying. So what this will do is that Nuclear goes from being resisted to it's just no longer resisted. It's just the big thing. Okay, you didn't have to use myriad slashes there. So you can kind of see that both of them are actually very low this turn. So we could actually just set up to finish them off. So just as an example, Vino can just use Diving Ray, which did 13k. But yeah, Starro is going to be the next game, but the way that the streams are going to look this week is going to be Monday. Okay. I think I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna go for the cursed plushie. The thing that makes taking the plushie very scary is that if I wasn't in this like last area, then we might have been in danger. Okay. All right, we got another ticket, which isn't bad. All right, we wanted the coins there. And we definitely wanted the last Grim set piece. Ooh, what are we losing? We'll lose the hero shield. We already lost the prayer. We might as well just keep the buff, basically. Okay, so this is gonna be the part where we're gonna have to start selling ones that we don't get a lot of value from. Okay, another ticket. Ultimately, we eventually just want to kind of try to get to max level in this mode, but we'll ultimately kind of see what happens with that. We don't want Merciful here. Realistically, we want to try to get some of the trading cards to stop having the negative effects of the trading cards. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the air BBs just because we don't have them yet. Okay. We do need a trading card, so I'll take that. And then we will expand our slot once to get the last cruel. Okay. Last one. Okay. So we still have quite a bit of the quite a bit of money. So what I'm opting to do is focus primarily on just upgrading a bunch of these charms. So right now we have actually all three effects. We have the Stalwart set, the Grim set, and the Agony set. If you guys are either just joining or just have no idea what any of that means, the gist is that the Stalwart set helps improve shielding capabilities, which like right now, what is his name? Wonder. Goodness. Let's see. We'll use Diving Ray here. So if you guys are curious, I am just trying to nuke this guy as quickly as I can. Which I think I did. 74k is not bad. Alright, let's shield up everybody. But yeah, the Grim set, the Grim Charm set is very heavily catered towards single target damage. The Stalwart set's great for catered to shields, and the Agony set is very catered towards debuffs. Which this team composition does a very heavy amount of all three. So what I'm actually going to do here is that I'm actually going to try to exploit some weaknesses here, because we've unlocked the perk where the single target damage we can exploit all these resets. Darn. That thing's probably weak to like fire. Alright, so we want to use a bullseye bomber on whomever is going to take the most damage. So I'm opting for somebody who's weak to someone who is weak to the damage, the nuclear damage. I swear, I know what I'm talking about, but my brain is just not cooperating with the idea of just playing this video game. Okay. So, we're gonna use the Nuclear Fury. We're just gonna use it on Byakko here, because this should, yeah. I love how my statement was this should, yeah. But we just do so much single target damage at this point that nothing really can keep up with us. Oh, okay. We won difficulty 5 or difficulty 6. I wouldn't say that was like the cleanest run, because obviously my decision making could have been much better. Oh, whoops! I did not mean to click that. But I hope you guys are getting a better understanding of just like just my thought process and what goes on in my brain to kind of help push a lot of this stuff along. And this area is part of the reason why I'm not so concerned with gearing up Haru as much. So yeah, we are gonna head up to difficulty 7. I know that Cuchulainn is weak to lightning. Unfortunately, my one lightning DPS is not very powerful. So we are gonna have to kind of work around that. We could go for this trio. Okay, so Atropos is supposed to die first. Okay. That is reasonable. So, what we can do here is that I think we're going to go with the AoE DPS approach. Or do we? Yeah, we do. So, this team comp should be fine enough. Only major thing that needs to change is the I can bring certains instead of whatever it's called, whatever that unit was called. As you can see, we can only partially insta-kill things now, so that's just one thing that we do have to kind of keep our concerns about with us. I'll take the empty flower pot. But while holding this lost item, unknown changes occur when you complete specific actions. Unfortunately, I do not know what those specific actions are. So now, we definitely want chaotic, because a lot of what On does can be considered like area of effect, like some of her more stronger moves. But we could also go for the approach of highlight spamming, like how we were doing earlier. And I'll keep getting the trading card box because one day it'll work. So, let's see. The goal is to probably approach highlight spamming as quickly as possible. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm going to sell this. I'd love to get that trading card right now, but I can't. So yeah, I think we'll try to go for those 3 this game. Not being able to get that trading card was just unfortunate. So, the unfortunate reality, by the way, of the situation is that I don't think our survivability is going to be as good. But we'll play it out. Because it could very much so be that our survivability doesn't have to be good. I'll take the Lucky Clover. So the good news is that let's see. We're gonna be focusing on buffing on here. And getting Wind Barrier up and running. Okay. So Lamias are going to resist fire, unfortunately. Oh, well, they don't resist fire, but I think you guys get the general idea of what I'm trying to get at. We're going to go for the defense down on all three of them, and we can go for a Falling Sun. I think we're safely at enough of a point where I can probably just get away with auto battle even still. Morgana just needs to not be hit with thunder. But I'm sure you guys can see how much damage is just coming through with the team composition. Okay. Ooh. Yeah. We're very powerful at this point, so we're just blazing through this. We're gonna go for the Cruel Set buff, where we can just kind of continuously reapply whatever it's called, agony. We don't inflict as many debuffs as, say, for instance, the Makoto Vino team, but I think that's fine. Alright, using a highlight heals us. I'm not gonna give anything there. And we got our full Cruel Set. But the funny thing is that we definitely want at least a lot of different ways where we can apply agony. So we have a couple of routes. I'm gonna take the top route and see if we can get fish for some trading cards. Goodness, we get so many of those tickets. All right, I took the extra currency there, and we actually gambled the lost item and got it. I'm gonna get 2 charms here, which activates the AoE bonus. Sure. Doesn't stop me from having a good time. So this is gonna be the part where we can consider essentially how many charms I'm using, basically. We actually have a very good angle to actually go very charm heavy instead of worrying about a lot of the lost items. Yeah, with Cord, we actually do have a very good route for Blazing Starfire. Sweet, for once nobody actually got hit by Lullaby, though got one shot. This is why I bring Shun to everything. I gotta think. I think I go for the technical. Things are missing, which helps. The fact that Morgana got one tapped is so crazy. But yeah, this is exactly what could happen if you're not paying attention. I am going to try with Cord. There's no reason not to. Because if she keeps happening to dodge, then it might actually help to just... Okay. I thought about activating Blazing Starfire there, but I don't think it's worth it. All right. First little loss. Honestly, it's not actually that big of a deal. We still have the prayer Magatama. So let's try this again. So unfortunately, I think I actually have to have Wonder just on like shield duty. Just because Morgana and Ann's HP are just so low. And this is the easiest way to kind of bypass everything. We'll apply debuff with Futaba. Morgana inflicting forget though is kind of huge. Heat Wave's gonna hurt a little bit, but Titania's like the one that we actually have to be really mindful of. Alright. So yeah, Wonder unfortunately is just on perma wind barrier duty, which sucks, but it may be the only thing that's keeping my team alive currently. Alright, let's use the data link and make everybody weak to fire. Okay, with that said, we should be able to do another Falling Sun, which both of them will be weak to, which we can... Wait, that down both of them and that didn't cause an all-out... Oh no. Okay, you decided to hit Cord, good. I will use Thunder here. We'll use Cord's highlight. That crit was appreciated. We don't have Lavi and Rose. And there we go. So that's a primary reason why a lot of the prayer Magatamas are there. Because you guys saw how quickly things could have gone out of hand. Wait, do I have the trading card box? I do. All right, we got the trio. Every day they the bosses change, so I'm kind of glad that we got a little bit lucky. Though I should have went to the shop, I think. Oh. All right, we gotta fight Cert. So yeah, the bigger shadows at this difficulty now are going to be not hard. But I think we can manage. Oh yeah, especially with Wonder's highlight. The double shield highlight's crazy. But now we can actually afford to switch to a different persona. So I'll face Cert with Cert. We're gonna blow out this fire. All the stacks of the agony damage is crazy. But yeah, that's why we ran agony. So what we'll do is that we will activate the last passive of Astral. And what that allows us to effectively do is that we will actually be able to spam our highlights. So now we're kind of at the point where all right, we are gonna lose it for the railway coins. We'll take the extra wallet. So yeah, we do want to try our best to avoid these fights where we can. So 2 Norns, unfortunately, but we might be able to get lucky with I don't know what's happening. I hope my team's alive. Someone send help. That was no. The game decided to unbreak to use Futaba's ability, and On's highlight. So, like, okay, so I guess we're winning the fight. Maybe. Wait, is it fixed? Of course, you know, I decided to like pull up my phone for like Snapchat, and like, of course, it unbroke itself. Whatever. But it's okay. I got it on the recording, and that's all that matters. Okay, so obviously you guys can still see that my team is still decently functional with this. I'll take the airsoft BBs. There might be a good opportunity to use my gun, but who knows? Okay, game, you could have stopped with these larger guys. Goodness. Oh, I see the vision. I'll take the early crit, because we're gonna get a highlight because of Futaba. Okay. Catchy hook for on, and that, or for Wonder, which puts us on Sparkling stage, which is, you know, I'll take it. All right, so now are we gonna care about on now? Is this something we're doing? Y'all, it's important for our team to do damage. You know that, right? The fantasy of highlight spamming is crazy with the with this. Yeah, I'll take the purple of that. All right, if we happen to get one more trading card, we'll actually lose the negative onset effects. I'm gonna sell that. Dang, this game hates me. I think we can live without the chaotic bonuses. I think going for the stalwart ones might be better. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I can live without crit damage here. I think the defense up is just huge. Okay, so this fight, I am going to try to take control and try to make sure that our team lives. So double fire ult to start. Yeah, we want to take out her first. So unison notes for on. Okay. Goodness, this is a little spooky. We still want to do damage to all three of them, mind you. Because agony helps. Oh, her knowing Zyonga is... Well, Ma Zyonga is... And of course she knew... Whatever. Okay. That's okay, though, because we still have Mona's ultimate. So once Mona's unstunned, we can afford to fix things. Well, we'll bring On back up, but I don't know if... On doesn't have the shield, which is kind of the scary aspect of it. Okay. We'll use Cert's limit break, basically. Can we do an all-out attack off of this? Yes, we can. Are you kidding me? Okay. Thought my critical rate was 100%. Whack. Okay. It's not good. Of course. Why does she keep getting one more there? Horde getting forgetful there. Of course. The highlight spamming may have saved the run. All right, I'm gonna need a crit. That works. Not as much. Fine. It was annoying because we were fine. Okay, so what can we do here? Thing that's irritating is that I don't think it's a good idea for me to beyond cert, but I don't really have much a choice. Okay, I can take a. He can take a Bufala. These guys have so much health. It's the fact that they can take 2 moves that I think is irritating me a lot, actually. Alright, let's make them all weak to electric. Let's see what we can do. Okay, I obviously did not understand this boss correctly. Because Cord just demolished. Certain times we'll use Moirai Cutting, dealing severe damage to the Phantom Thieves with the Weave of Fate. So what exactly are we playing around here? Or what do we want to play around here? Because obviously I have a glaring weakness to we'll just use cohesion here. Because I have a glaring weakness to ice and electric. Because yeah, Morgana's gonna get hit by that. So I'm bound by the threat of fate. Alright, so first things first, let's get their defense down. Alright, catchy hook. Okay. Very generally, I am trying to play a bit more defensive here. Because it seems like highlight spamming is the way. Okay, so then let's switch back over. Let's get everybody a slightly stronger shield. Alright, make everybody weak to fire. Okay. You know everyone's gonna be weak to fire here. Okay. We can do the all-out attack. Of course. Even through like the ulted and like safety shield. Like I used that shield as like genuinely like a big old precaution because I knew I knew my luck was gonna be awful. Luckily, not everybody's weak to shock here. I'll take it. That was part of the reason why I didn't leave myself exposed. Okay. Doubling into Morgana is what irritates me, is the unfortunate thing. Okay, that works. I'm fine with that. It's only her. Because I can clear with this. Goodness! Alright, let's make her weak to fire. And thankfully, activating highlights also heals the team, so this is in a much better spot than it was just a moment ago. Whew. That was miserable, but I did it. Difficulty 7 is something, but you get a crap ton of levels for it. I know this game wants me to do difficulty 8. And I know for a fact, not this. If I do difficulty 8, I would have to probably use my Makoto team against Koryu. Well, there is a world where I make Hecaton cherries the go-to. I could do Kukulane. Because it's just clear difficulty 8, right? Yeah, it just clear difficulty 8. Then I need to do difficulties 4 and 6 with all the team comps, which should be easy enough. So we are gonna go back to my general Makoto team comp. Which is kind of scary to think about, just because I'm worried that Shun might... Wait, if it's weak to electric, I can afford to run Mona. That's gonna be rough to think about, but we're gonna try to aim for the same type of run that we did last time. So the unfortunate reality is that because this is difficulty 8, we definitely have to be mindful of the fights that we end up choosing. Because we can still insta-clear, looks like, the easier enemies. Problem is, I don't think Morgana heals enough. Because we set up for Merciful. I don't think I'm gonna risk it. Okay. Right, this is the first stage, so insta-giving is not too bad. We'll lose the flower pot, that's fine. I think we can kind of go for the hero sword and shield. Yeah. So if we also find the sword, we should actually be in a very, very good spot. Yeah, we'll do that. We're getting a lot of railway coins early, so we are actually like kind of in a relatively okay spot. I'll take it. Because it might be interesting to actually have this set up where Makoto can... Ooh, we got some new ones. Let's see. Don't know what to expect, so I'll start off with that. We can inflict agony on everybody that way, or have the potential to. We unfortunately don't have AoE curse damage, so we're kind of winging an aspect of this. But none of our team is technically weak to light. There's just a lot of enemies, so they could focus on someone like Morgana very quickly. If we can eventually make them all weak to nuclear, this will be an easier fight. But no, these first bosses are actually a bit more on the difficult side just due to the fact that it's just so early. But the good news is that we can thankfully work around that. We can still shield our team pretty early on, and we did get rid of one. Once we can get to like high level Grim, possibly, we might be able to make this work. As long as they don't... What is Legion? Okay. We definitely want to make everybody weak to nuclear. We can definitely get an all-out attack out of this. We just want to effectively start the process. Oh yeah, we're doing so much damage to these guys. And then I'll just go on ahead and use Wonder for a little extra damage on that guy. Let's go ahead and just use Vino's ultimate on this dude. It sucks trying to play, like, correctly, I'll say. All right, can we take you out? Of course not. If we lose Mona here, that shouldn't be a huge deal. The reality is, like, my team members can die. It's only so much I can do. Okay. So we're doing okay now. I just know I definitely want to focus a little bit more. It's probably would have been more appropriate to go for the more aggressive play, but golly. I love the top was like, time to use our secret weapon, which is just ultimates already. Let's switch to Bishamoten in a moment. Unless we can make them all weak to nuclear again, because that was fun. I hope you guys agree that that was fun. Golly, though. All right, so thermonuclear fury. And then we're gonna switch to Bishamoten, and then we should be able to finish this guy off from there. Yep. It might have been slightly more efficient for me to do something else first, but all right, we're getting the astral shield. All right, charm strengthening. I opted to use charm strengthening there just because I wanted to keep it easy enough. I think going for Cuchulainn is gonna be my best bet, which is kind of scary, to be quite honest with y'all. All right. All right, we got the highlight resetting, which is good. I think I do want an early store. So Neko Shogun and Unicorn. Okay, all right, Vino. Diving Ray's fine. It's probably better to try to take these Neko Shoguns out first. Do I have a... Okay, I do have a +1 angle, but I don't have a shield on at first, so I'm not going to take that risk. I can take that risk with Morgana because this is like the one time that Morgana actually felt very... like a very strong option here. We unfortunately don't have any sources of curse, so we're just mainly using this for the free damage. These are psychic. Right. So let's see. So yeah, the Neko Shogun's gotta go. I am gonna use the ulti there. Let's use Bullseye Bomb. Let's use Bullseye Bomber. Okay, there we go. It's not enough damage yet. Okay, thankfully, we already have big enough shields. So what I am gonna do is I am gonna double into the Neko Shogun. I'm gonna do kind of a similar thing with Morgana here. It looks like Morgana does a bit more damage than Wonder on Norn. Thankfully, Vino is weak to fire. And I'm having bad luck today. Well, I mean, bad luck this run. So we still unfortunately can't make use of Makoto here, which sucks, but it is what it is. I'd rather get Thermonuclear Fury out. And a crit, apparently. We should be able to take one more of those, so I'm going to go for the Cosmic Flare. Alright, Makoto's ult. Didn't do as much as I would have wanted, but whatever. It did some damage. I wish that thing would just stay down. Okay, that's whack. Bullseye Bomber. The off-turn healing is actually like very nice. I think I can afford to stay on him for one turn. Yeah, no one on my team's weak to light, so I'm not gonna freak out about that. Now we can use Vulnerability Found since it's single target. Let's use the highlight. Fish for the 50-50. was gonna say, if I seriously did not get another 50-50 this fight, that would have been crazy. All right, Diving Ray. All right. Please don't be a monster. I hate this game. Okay. Amino Uzume and Bishamot. That's not Bishamoten, but like I mentioned before, using Diving Ray kind of as part of my opener. Unfortunately, Amino Uzume knows Thunder Magic, so I have to be very careful with how Morgana is during the battle. All right, being able to 100-0 one of the Amino Uzume early, I think, is my best play. Okay, Power Slash. Mazio, we hate to see it. Come on. Okay. Unfortunately, we have to use Diving Ray again here just to kind of get some of these debuffs going. The thermonuclear thingy should be a very good hit. 87k is not something to scoff at. Unfortunately, Morgana was stunned, so none of his off-turn healing was going to go through. Oh, sweet! Vino got 2. So now we can just kind of use Wind to kind of just take care of things here. Data leak established. Now we can use Bullseye Bomber Watch. 20k. That's not bad. And 164k. Love to see it. Okay. I think I'm gonna go for Grim here. I think ignoring defense might actually have a stronger may have stronger implications here. Okay. I think this seems very strong with Futaba. We got the one merciful one. Boo-hoo, we're down 40. I'll take the Radiant. It's gonna be risky operating without a lot of the defensive boosts, but I think I have to be a little aggro with how I opt to... Oh. Never punished, I guess. All right, we don't need... why is it always... I don't have that effective Grim yet where... Well, you're weak to nuclear, so I'm just gonna go after you. Yeah. This thing being weak to nuclear does make things possibly a little bit more straightforward. You wanna know what's actually a feature I've been forgetting about in this game that exists? Guard. It's not very often that I would need guard specifically. But the fact of the matter is that it exists in this game. And I bring this up mostly because I think it would just be very helpful to have or just to make use of. Do I have Pheno's 5-star weapon? I forget. Okay. We're starting to do a lot of damage, we're just not fully online yet, which sucks. We can afford the cohesion. Ooh, we can afford the critical hit. As we continue to get rid of more and more of these guys, I'll take the fight becoming easier as a result of me actually getting further along. All right, but let's capstone the fight off. By that I just mean make these guys all weak to nuclear now, so we can actually get an all-out attack. Ooh, Sparkling Stage is huge. 25k. Okay. Gonna redeal. I reached maximum charm capacity. That's gonna be upsetting. I don't want to risk that when something can have like multiple elemental attacks and I don't have enough money to go to a store. Ugh. Why are there so many of y'all? So I won't be down. So I know for sure I won't be downing these guys that easily. But my priority is just going to be towards keeping the party safe. Not sure why Morgana's losing HP, which is why I was like, it's like, what's going on here, Morgana? The Bufudines shouldn't be too bad. I hate that they're just all sitting on a toilet. Okay. We can lower everybody's defense. That isn't the so that isn't a big deal. Bullseye bomber on this dude doesn't take him out. But let's guarantee that he's taken out. It's a bit of an overkill, unfortunately, but it's kind of one of those rather be safe than sorry moments. Let's go ahead and ult with Wonder, which means that I can ult with Vino. And that also happened on Mona's turn. I was gonna say, because if Mona gets a crit, then oh, it just gets rid of their resistance to nuclear in this case. So I should have actually made it wind if I wanted to get the all-out attack going. That's okay though. My priority is just to try to get through these guys, but I think I can actually safely rely on just auto battle to carry me through the rest of this battle. The party is staying strong enough. Okay. So all in all, I think that our team's doing fine enough as long as we continue to focus down just the one. Ooh, oh my goodness, Wonder's ultimate didn't do nothing. Oh no, not again. This is such a goofy bug. But I mean, I'll take it. I'm still fighting. It isn't like it crashed the game or anything like that, so I don't care. So I have to wait until somebody else uses an ultimate, basically, in order to get my screen back. Wait, no, wait. This is just... You know what? We won. You see, we won. It's probably fine. We aren't going for a trading card moment. Ooh, I think I want the trading card out of all those three. All right, next Depraved Shadow. We're okay. We unfortunately don't have the single target AoE damage thing. So I'm gonna let auto battle kind of dictate this one. What am I looking for? I'm checking for something off to the side while... Okay, obviously, did we all just see P5X freeze? All right. The problem right now is that our team is very, very single target. So once the Black Frost start coming out, it doesn't really matter how fast you can kill the Jack Frost. It's definitely gonna be a moment. Like I said, thankfully none of us are weak to are immediately weak to ice. Up, well, here we go again. You know, lovely game we got going on here. It really adds to the stakes, you know, just not being able to see. I was like, not being able to see the game, but not knowing if you're winning or losing is kind of diabolical. All right, make them all weak to nuclear, I guess. Are we doing it? Oh my God. So, guys. Guys. I know that I kind of took a break from talking for a second, but I actually have something to talk about. They just announced something for P5X. There is going to be a new character releasing. You guys know this battle's going, so give me 1 second. There's going to be a new character releasing soon, and that character is going to be released worldwide. Let's see. I'll move this over here for now. I'm on the Twitter page, and oh my God, I have so many tabs open. Let me just close the vast majority of them so that way I don't. Wait a minute, I'm silly. I could have just is that the combination? There we go. So they just announced this like literally like 5-ish minutes, like a few minutes ago. Like we can watch the trailer together basically, and I can continue P5X on the other screen. You guys know I'm working through this. But yeah, in 3 days they are going to be releasing the oh, okay. Interesting. So people are suspecting that it's likely going to be the twins. If you guys can kind of see in the YouTube chat. So our first like global worldwide character is going to be the twins, which is very likely, but I think that's still super cool. Okay, so I think we definitely increase our capacity for this. And we're gonna sell that because we aren't building into it, unfortunately. We got another trading card. We're heading to Cuckoo Lane, which is... Oh, I can't even insta-kill these shadows anymore. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, 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 no. That's gonna start meaning that I'm gonna have to try to be very careful about what battles I decide to take. Okay. Also, haven't heard this song before? I think so. Okay. Okay. I don't think I need that astral buff. I don't need either of those chaotic ones either. Oh, this is about to be irritating. Welcome back, Kel. I'm in the effectively the hardest like difficulty out for this right now. So now even the regular encounters I can't skip. I have to endure is not the correct word, but right idea for the battle. This has been a very, very, very scary. I don't know. There's something endearing about this. I don't know what's happening, but like, I think that's cool that I don't know what's happening. Okay. So I need to use this, which now I still need more Grim bonuses, which is the tough part. So I think I take the shadow here, go up here, go up here, go up there, fight spook. Oh, we are guaranteed to fight a spooky either way, unless if I just take the store and just take the L. I think that's what I do. I think I just take the store. If there's something really good, I get it. If there's something not good, that's okay. Not being able to one-shot these anymore, that hurts. I don't know why the game's struggling, to be honest with you. All right. Thankfully, these fights are still easy, and I know that none of y'all saw that I did some air quotes. So what do I want to do here? I think I want to keep these 3 for sure. I think I want to keep all of these, honestly. So yeah, I guess I'm adding a slot. Okay. I'm just gonna take the 50 coins. Gambling for the 500 while potentially strong. That could screw me. Okay. So that one I do have to pick up. I think I'm gonna sell that one that I just got. Oh, and that's just an upgrade. Okay, thank God. If that was more than just an upgrade, I was gonna be sad. Okay. I shouldn't do this. Don't do this. This is greedy. I think I'm in an okay spot to do this because I have so many ways to proc agony. That is the sole reason why I'm doing this. Because I have very insane single target damage, thankfully now, so in the vast majority of things, oh, Black Frost, leave Makoto alone! Alright, that ult's pretty good. Oh, this Black Frost is gonna get it. 54k to do another 40k. That's crazy. But you're gonna do all that just to... This AI, man. Only for him to die to the agony stacks afterwards. Oh, sweet. I could get a free re-deal, except I don't have enough. Is it menacing? Oh, thank the heavens, it's just a shop that I can't get anything at. Unless if I sell something. I think I'm okay with not having that in order to have 4 agony. Ooh, it's another Grim. Yeah, we're unfortunately at... Oh, we're fighting Thor. Oh, you aren't doing any damage to me no anymore. This is stressful. Okay, Gentle Fist should be not fine. Well, Morgana, you lived a beautiful life. Oh, and so did you, Makoto. They all lived happy lives, you know. So I'm gonna discard those charms. Oh, we don't have it. There's one charm that I'm willing to risk it all for. Nope, didn't get it. Don't have enough to enhance, so this is just we're just gonna see. All right. All right. He actually starts with a lot of agony stacks. So yeah, Vino no longer does all that much. Vino's sole purpose is to just try to inflict as many debuffs as possible. Wonder and Morgana just need to stay alive. Okay, we did get a crit there. Oh no! Leave me alone! Okay. Alright, we'll use Vino's ult. Alright, Bullseye Bomber should be doing it. Well, it did more. Alright, crash out. Alright, Makoto, take him out, take him out, take him out. Please tell me that's enough. Oh. I don't want to do any of the other bosses. I can say that I cleared difficulty 8. Y'all, I cleared difficulty 8. Let's go. Hurting. So yeah. I still actually have a lot more of those runs to do, but we still did a lot today. Obviously, we did a lot of the weekly reset stuff that I needed to do, which is good. We got 3 gold tickets, which is very appreciated. That's taken care of. So we're about to wrap up here in just a bit. I'm going to stop the raid so that way no one can pop in. So we got 21 of these. So pretty much the idea is that we roll 5 until we get the grand prize, and then we want to move on to the next box. So, and then we want to roll into that one until we get the grand prize. Which we didn't get the grand prize yet, but you guys can see we get some pulls, and then just a lot of extra like little bits of gear here and there. So that's ultimately what's going to be part of what's being worked on. I also know that we still have a boss to, well, I still have a boss to farm, which he has so many distortion levels that like I'll figure it out. So we also had a login bonus that's going on right now that I didn't even see. There's Tabby's treasure hunt that I didn't even notice. So go Tabby, go. This is what happens when you don't keep up with your gacha games, everybody. You end up in a situation where like you're like fighting for your life trying to catch up. So thankfully though, a lot of these are pretty easy to do / start. There's new characters to hang out with and all these other little things here and there that can get me currency. I can still work on gearing up Haru over here. Still debating on if I want to get her weapon, but I likely won't have enough resources is my guess. So it is what it is. The fact that she's been able to perform as well as she has been, all things considered, like, it's kind of crazy because I only have a 3-star weapon on girl. Though I think I can actually go to, where's he at? I always forget where he's at. Not city. There was a fast travel option. There we go. So yeah, we want to go to the airsoft shop. A lot of it because we need stuff. Alright. And then if you can get her for her 4-star weapon, I will consider myself content. I'm pretty sure I can get it here. Because yeah, the 5-star weapons that I can get, unfortunately, are all only for the original batch plus all the free characters, effectively. I believe the 4-star weapons, they'll let you get here. And it looks like that is the case, so I just need to look for her axe. And if you guys are wondering, I am very quickly reading through wait, can I not get her axe? Do I also have a sun staff? I don't know what I made. I don't remember. Yumi, Aika. Oh yeah, Kira. I was like, who? Okay, so Haru is just the Gilgamesh axe. I was just blind. I am going to try to rank it up a little bit. So if you guys are curious about what I'm doing, I've had a giant stockpile of those 4-star weapons. So what I effectively did there, just so that way you guys are curious, because this will improve Haru's power pretty drastically, because the levels are actually shared. But now we can do some forging, because I have a lot of just duplicate 4-star weapons that are like sitting around that some of the other characters are just no longer using. So it allows me to do stuff like this, where you guys saw that I effectively brought up its refinement up like several degrees. So as you can see, there's a lot to this game going on, but as long as I'm the one making sense of it, right? Because I'm the one who has to play. So all I'm doing for now is I always say that I'm gonna stop, but I'm just like, oh, but I need to do this, oh, I need to do that. It's a bad habit of mine. But as I'm wrapping this up, we're gonna just wrap up today. We are. I think we're at we're a little over 3 hours now, so we just I just need to get off the game. Well, I say get off, not like I'm not gonna try to make more progress over the course of the next few days in an effort to try to properly catch up in the game. But like I was mentioning before, we will kind of deal with that as we go along. So thank you guys all for watching today. I do appreciate every single one of you guys who did stop in today to support. I will not be streaming tomorrow, which is totally fine. But I have a lot of resources to kind of burn through over the next couple of days. So I'm gonna do my best to try to get through as much of this as I can. And I'm excited to kind of see where things go. So I appreciate all y'all. And I will definitely see you guys on the next one, which will be on Wednesday this week. Just as a reminder, it's going to be on Wednesday this week. So have a good one, everybody. See you guys in the next one.